just sigh. Is a singing songs of love. Gazing with tranquility, 'twas then when the hurdy-gurdy come singing songs of love. Then when the hurdy-gurdy he comes singing songs of love. Hurdy-gurdy, 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 just sigh. Hurdy-gurdy, 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 just sigh. Hurdy-gurdy, 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 hurdy-gurdy. Here comes the rolling man, he's a singing songs of love. Roll-a, 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 just sigh. Hurdy-gurdy, 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 says there'll be no work next year. Qualifications once the golden rule, and now just pieces of paper. Just because you're better than me doesn't mean I'm lazy. Just because you're going forwards doesn't mean I'm going backwards. And your old school shoes. The truth is, son, it's a buyer's market. They can afford to pick and choose. Just because you're better than me doesn't mean I'm lazy. Just because I dress like this doesn't name, I'm a communist.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pre-party of Vilnius anniversary of 700 years. Hello, Europe. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that all the young creatives from all the Europe, I think 30 of you, came here to Vilnius to co-create great creative ideas and brave ideas for Vilnius, for the future of Vilnius communication. So, first of all, I would like to thank Vilnius municipality and agency Go Vilnius who believed in our project. And of course, I'm very thankful to ADC Europe who believed in our idea too, to do that. So I would like to welcome Merce, the director of ADC Europe, to say some words.
Thanks. Thank you, Ivaras. Is it working, right? Yeah. Well, first of all, welcome again. On behalf of ADC, I'm Merce Segú. I'm the general manager of the organization. We are located in Barcelona. And we started in 2013, some years ago, this Creative Express. Thanks to HP, he had the idea. After a call from the OBB railway company in Austria, they wanted to promote the train, to travel by train versus the car, right? And the idea was to invite young creatives from around Europe and to bring them on the train and to have this workshop together to find ideas to promote to travel by train, right? So we started that in 2013, and we are super glad that this edition is the 11th edition after that, the first one. We created that super nice logo. It was created by him as well. But that's why it's called the Creative Express. It was a workshop for 2 days, and with this steam in the head related with the train. So, and we maintain that logo since then. We've done different Creative Express in Helsinki, on a ferry, we were to the Tyrol on a cable car, so it's always an amazing experience for everyone and for young creatives to work together with the mentors to find super great ideas related with the briefing, right? So this time we've been invited, thanks to Ivaras, that he proposed the project to the Vilnius City Council, and we are here to help and promote Vilnius around Europe, so is it in your hands, right? So, and then I would like to thank you as well, Atomic Garden and the club, the design association in Lithuania, who is supporting us as well. ADC is a non-for-profit organization, is a network of 22 creative clubs, and here today we are together with our member in Lithuania. So thank you, and I would like to introduce Now, exactly, we have some words from the major who invited us, and he's doing the welcome. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Remigijus Šimašius, Mayor of Vilnius. I hope you find yourself well in this beautiful city and brought your creative ideas. You remember our famous G-Spot campaign. So the result, it was the result of a similar approach when young creative people gathered and then created ideas for advertising Vilnius. I do really hope that your ideas will be no less strong. So please be brave, please be creative. We are the city which is able to accept such ideas. So I would wish you all the big creativity, and please have a good time in Vilnius.
Okay, thank you, Remigijus. And now the word goes to HP, who is inventor of Creative Express, right?
Well. Do I need that?
Yes.
I need that. Hello again. It's me, HP. I'm the chief conductor. I'm the guy who will be on your nerve, dancing on your nerves for the next days. This will be, I think, another fantastic experience. This mayor is half as old as me. Whatever. Is everybody knowing this G-Spot campaign? Who does not know the G-Spot campaign? You don't know? Yeah. The campaign was really bold. They have balls in here. The campaign is about. It was called Vilnius is the G-Spot of Europe. Once you find it, it's great fun. And a guy from Germany asked me, why G? It's V. So, I mean, the thing is, we will do fantastic creativity with you and have fantastic ideas, but the main thing is networking. You meet people from all over Europe. Talk to each other, exchange addresses, telephone numbers, whatever, social media. That's the main thing. We have now, I think, up to 200, 300 young people from all over Europe who had been on the Creative Express in the last years. And if you are in whatever, Cannes or wherever, there are groups of young people meeting from the Creative Express. And hey, you have been great. Which one have you been? And so it's a fantastic it's the youngest network in Europe we have until now. And you are now part of this network of the Creative Express. This is super, super good for you because our business is a people's business. And if you know people anywhere who do things better than whatever. So exchange, network, that's the main goal. We are all winners now because you know each other and that's fantastic. So far from my side, we will start now with talks. What did I forget? I forget some things. I'll tell you later on. As I told you, I will be on your nerves for the next days. Thanks for to the mentors who came from very far, from South Africa, well, Berlin, London, and so on. And let's start. This talks are super short to bring you on the same sort of wave, to inspire you. And we will start with Mantas. He's already there. Mantas, his talk is, I love it. It's called Think Pink. It's about the favorite dish of Vilnius. I love to eat, as you see, and I love to eat what's it called? Red root, beetroot. Beetroot. It's beetroot. It's beetroot. Yeah. No more. Mantas, it's your stage. So, welcome Europe. Yeah.
Good morning. It's high pressure to start the morning, but I will try my best. So my name is Mantas. I worked in advertising over 13 years, and now I moved on the dark side, to the client side. And now I work at Lithuanian National Broadcaster, so basically working with radio and television. And today I wanted to talk with you about the soup. After this presentation, expect a lot of memes with good soup on the TikTok. So let's start with basic elements, where we build our ground. We start with spring onion, cucumber, dill, beetroot. Seems something okay-ish, right? Let me introduce you to kefir, or as Wikipedia states, fermented milk drink. Sexy. And also an egg. Make it make sense. In Lithuania, we put everything together. We put it in the pot, and we called it šaltibarščiai, or cold beetroot soup. Here's the pronunciation for all of you not familiar with Lithuanian. I expect a lot of you. So yeah, wherever you go, in Lithuania or in Vilnius, you can ask for šaltibarščiai. In all major places, you can get these. And how do we look? We look like this. Sexy. Especially in summertime. But most of you will ask yourself, maybe something is missing. Of course something is missing. It's potatoes. Because usually we eat it with potatoes, either fried or boiled. So here's the combo, nonsense by itself, and everything shouldn't work by itself, but it's working. Why finish here? We wanted to elevate this nonsense, and our approach to nonsense is something like this: take the nonsense and make it nonsenser, in a way. And the šaltibarščiai is just the starting point for Lithuanian way of thinking. Because we took šaltibarščiai and we made potato chips with šaltibarščiai. Potato chips flavored with šaltibarščiai. You can find it in the store, nearest store nearby you. I'm not sponsored by them. We also have ice cream flavored as a soup you've seen before. We also have a cake, jelly cake, made out of šaltibarščiai. I'm not that brave to try it, but some of you might. You can also find the recipe online. And to put things even further, our National Tourism Board even issued the special šaltibarščiai map for the summer, where you can find the most interesting šaltibarščiai in Lithuania. So basically you can travel around just by eating šaltibarščiai wherever you go. And it's whatever flavored, it's whatever shape and color. So our thinking, Lithuanian thinking, I think, with this soup is, if you can think it, you can do it. Basically, just throw whatever it's at your mind in one place and look how it goes. And I think that this principle also works in whatever we do when we want to promote Lithuania and we want to be seen. Here's several examples. Back in 1992, we had our first Olympic team in Olympics, basketball team. And of course, we were a poor country, we had no money, and we started raising the money. Where we went, not to simple beer makers or whatever, we went to rock band Grateful Dead. Because why not? And they gave them the money and also one simple ask. You have to wear our merch when you are on the basketball court. So this is our national uniform in 1992. Weird one with the skull and all these paintings, but I think it was the brave move, nonsense move in a way, and I think it worked because now we have Jonah Hill wearing the same t-shirt. The same 1992 Winter Olympics, we have our national team in Winter Olympics. It doesn't make sense even having that team, but okay. And again, our national costume was made by Issei Miyake, the Japanese designer who recently passed away. Why? Because no reason. We just tried our luck and asked rising designer to create our uniforms. Uniforms itself also look a bit nonsensical because we look like we're coming from the space or, I don't know, wearing foil for that matter, but it was bold, it was nonsense, and it made us famous as well. Eiffel Tower, why not make our own Eiffel Tower? We look at everything and think like, how we can approach this and make it ours and make it Lithuanian. We have our own Eiffel Tower as well in southern part of Lithuania. Super nonsensical, but super famous as one of the ugliest things in Lithuania. As well as Eiffel Tower was back in the days, one of the ugliest things in France. This lovely goat, beauty, isn't she? She's one of the winners of goat beauty contest in Lithuania. We have one in here as well. Why? Because no reason. So I think that my greeting to you would be just enjoy Lithuania, make your weird work, and go crazy, go bold. And as HP said, we have balls, so go for it.
That's great. That's great. I'm waiting for the T-shirts because we will have tomorrow. I'm very curious about the design of the T-shirts we will have tomorrow. Which rock company or rock band will do the T-shirts now? So things worth doing are worth overdoing. This is the next speech done by Charlotte, my boss. She will tell you to overdo things. Charlotte, your stage. Yeah, here we go. And here's the clicker. How are you?
Perfect, thank you. Hello, Europe! So good to have you here. So I will just continue the nice little intro, because if you can think it, you can do it. And I tell you, if you can do it, you should think about overdoing it. Because a thing you love is worth overdoing. I have a very good example for that. I have many examples, but this is like a very good one. This guy who you're seeing there had to experience this overdoing on his very own body. Who does know it? Him? It's Stefan Sagmeister. Anyone here who does not know Stefan Sagmeister? He was like my super idol. He's born in Austria, but a New York-based designer, and I always dreamt of working at his design studio. And I heard that he was traveling to Munich, so I had the chance to probably tell him that I'm existing. And yeah, okay, what's a good way to welcome him properly? Someone who scratches the poster for his first exhibition in his very own body sets the level a little bit high. But if someone like Stefan gives his blood for design, we are, in terms of passion, already sitting in the same boat. So that's me in the hospital. I needed both arms because I needed a lot of blood. This is my blood to welcome him. So now he knew that I was existing, and we had a little chat on a festival, and he told me about the Happy film. It's a must-see for designers, so everyone who did not see it yet, go and watch it. And he told us that he would bring his Happy film online. And this was very important for him because he needed to make money. So we thought about how can we help to promote the Happy film online. And due our good connections to Lutz's archive, we managed to somehow get an ad for him in the magazine. So this was a very rush overnight job and needs to be overdone, maybe. Stefan at this time was not working because he was on his sabbatical in Austria on the mountains. And yeah, well, in Austria there are lines. There are on lines, chairlift lines. So we put Stefan online. But he has to wear this bunny costume, of course. This bunny costume was in New York. Stefan somewhere on the ass of the world in the mountains. But he has to wear this costume. Everyone was like, Charlotte, doesn't work. So that's a whole nother story how this costume made its way to Austria. But then it was worth it. 32 degrees in the shadow, the mountain full of hikers. Stefan Sagmeister, some 2 meters tall, for us online. Because a thing worth doing is always worth doing. So we had this ad now. Looks a little bit better now. The Happy film online now, Sagmeister on sabbatical. All right, so we asked the leading German design magazine, The Page, to promote the film. And we gave 5 USB sticks with the film to the magazine, and they were really happy to promote this. And I was like, yeah, cool. And how will you promote this promotion? It's like, yeah, we will have a little article and a bubble on the title page. It's like, yeah, a bubble. Title page. I would have a good cover photo for the title page. 32 degrees in the shadow, Stefan Sargmeister in the mountains, online, bunny costume, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but that's not possible because the cover is already designed and it's always typography only, and never, it never happened that they had a photo. But a thing worth doing is worth overdoing. So Stefan just asked us for help. He didn't even ask for help, but we wanted to help him for a promotion for his Happy film. And out of this nothing, we got the cover of the Page magazine, a little article, the cover story, a lottery, a lot of fun, a lot of experiences, and we sold some online films. Yeah, a thing worth doing is worth overdoing. And in this article, they called us the Sargmeister office Munich. That's really fucking cool. But I didn't have an agency yet. So I founded one. That's the Wunderwaffe, and yeah, that's the agency where we do this overdoing all day long, 24/7. And now I'm not working for Stefan Sargmeister as I dreamt of as a student, but for and with him and Jessica Walsh. And this is a fusion of advertising and art and just having fun with things that, yeah, make fun and sense at the same time. So here's an example of overdoing together. We did for the beauty exhibition then some Jaguar stuff. So give your blood. If you like something, do something. If you love something, overdo it. Give your blood. Have cojones. Be bold. Because a thing worth doing is always worth overdoing.
True. Charlotte could talk for hours about the thing we did with Stefan, which was great fun always. You heard about.
Not allowed to overdo in terms of timing.
Nope. You heard about Lutz's archive now for a few times. You are sitting right in the middle of Lutz's archive, by the way. This exhibition you see here is the exhibition of, I think it was 30 years of Lutz's archive. And I'm super happy to have Luis with us. Luis is now the head of Lutz's archive. You took over half a year ago, something like that. A year ago. So he's the new boss of Lutz's archive. Fantastic. It's a relaunch, and he will tell you everything about, but he has only 5 minutes. So listen carefully. 7 minutes.
Thank you. Just, which way is it? Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I've got very little time and an awful lot to say to you, but you can obviously talk to me all whenever you want over the next 3 days. It's not just me, it's a wonderful team at Lutz's archive. It's been going since 1984. The wonderful founder, Walter Lutzer, unfortunately passed away in 2011. They had 10 years then after of sort of carrying on with the family owning it, but they decided they wanted to bring in some basically new leadership, and myself and my business partner, there's two of us, myself and Alan Page, we now control Lutz's archive, we own Lutz's archive. We did this because the opportunity was there. It wasn't really part of a plan, but we have another thing called Crest Rewards, and we wanted to kind of put interesting, like-minded things together. Now we spend an awful lot of time reinventing Lutz's, because Lutz's is a wonderful, wonderful thing for the community that we're in, and it needed sort of refreshing, because it'd been going quite a while, and there was an opportunity to sort of build it out again and expand it. So how many of you actually kind of read Lutz's archive, look at it? Have you? So you all know it pretty well, not all of you, but some of you. So you know it's kind of a magazine. It has a website. The website's not so good, I would say. And we're in the process of, painfully, to some degree, reinventing the website, because clearly how we all connect, we all have our phones, things are very, very different to how it was in 1984 when Lutz's archive began. So we have to reinvent Lutz's archive for now. And we're in the process of doing that over the past year. The magazine has changed a bit. Hang on. There we go. So this is the first issue of the New Look magazine that came out in May, I think, this year. So there's certain things you can see on the pile out there and around the room, a certain kind of iconography of the magazine that has changed a bit. And so working with Christine, who's the art director, and with a company called Six, who have done things. They did a website for Kinfolk, for example. If you know Kinfolk magazine, they do things for big companies, small companies. So they're a studio in, I've never been to them actually, they're in somewhere in the Midlands of Britain. But working with them, we've redesigned the magazine and we're changing the content. Not because we don't like the content, but because we want more things for you. We don't want it to be quite so print-based. Print is a wonderful medium, but obviously digital is kind of most now. And so it must be much more digital, much more film. And so the website must be much better, have much more interesting content. And the website will be a very different experience. This is the contents of that issue? No, of that issue. So we're expanding the kind of range of things we do. We're starting to do conversations between interesting creatives. So here's Walter Gear, who is a key sort of, well, kind of leading African-American creative in the States, in conversation with Mark Pritchard, this chap here, who is the top brand guy at Procter & Gamble. And Mark Pritchard only admitted publicly that he was Hispanic when he was in his 50s. When he got to the top of Procter & Gamble, he didn't have to worry about being fired or not getting opportunities because he was Hispanic. So he could start talking about what race meant, and so having a conversation about race and creativity and things. So kind of interesting conversation, a bit different to maybe what Lurtz's has done historically. Many more women involved in interviews in the magazine now, and also some special focuses. There's a special focus on automotive avs, so that was that feature. Kind of bit of a redesign change to bring out different sections to the print, the film, the digital sections, a bit more emphasized. Slightly more pages as well. It wasn't small, but it's getting bigger. And then just sort of cleaning up the pages of the work pages. There's lots of these work pages, of course. But what we want now is that you would look online to find stuff, much more online, because there's much more digital, much more film, so more of that going in, as well as the print. Actually, I really like that one. Can I go back? Yeah, that's a great campaign, I think. We nearly made this the cover, but it doesn't really work on the cover, but it's a great campaign with this face, you see. That kind of comes in various scenarios. And then the automotive section, various themes we pick out there. This is the cover of the current issue. There's one of them here. I'll add this to the this is nice. This is a bag created by the art director. I'm thinking we might make these special edition bags that you can then keep your Lurtzes in, you know, because otherwise it gets a little bit bent up on the corners. But it was made for my birthday by the art director, but I think we can make more of them. So that's that issue. And maybe the school, or you want this one? Want the school? Yeah, there we go. There we are, that's yours. Everybody can have it then. Yeah, okay. So we had a lot of discussions about this cover because it's a bit dark, maybe. It's actually a film poster in some film festival in Canada. You can find it in the issue, but it's a bit more edgy maybe than some of the covers we've had. But we've actually had some pretty edgy covers over the years in Lurtz's. I'm going the wrong way. That's the, yeah, this is an interview with a recently new mega head at Dentsu, Yasu Sasaki. A few more bits of work. What else have we got? Yeah, this is an interview with a guy called Ali Rez. So kind of, yeah, I managed to take that photo. Somebody took that photo with the arrow still on it. There isn't an arrow on the actual spread. 210 in mine means, yeah, because Ali Rez is, maybe like a few of you, we all like to travel to different countries, but Ali plans to get to 210 countries, which is pretty impressive. He's got more countries in his list than the UN has in its list. Apparently they have 195, but he thinks there's 210. And he's been to 100, when we had our conversation, he'd been to 135. And I managed actually to swank that I'd been to the country that he was going to next. I'd already been there. But he's way ahead of me on the list. But the next country he was going to was Panama, and I had indeed been there. So 16 countries in this room. That's impressive. By then, I wonder how many between us, or I wonder how many countries we've all been to. Maybe we can beat his number. Yeah, no, a sports and fitness special there. So we're going to go into depth on certain big issues now. And so it's about 60-page sort of special thing on that. And this is an interesting article within that section. So this is an article by Dan Wyden, Wyden and Kennedy fame. Now, he's not too well these days, but this is a classic article that he did in 1992, which really explained what he was doing with the advertising and marketing of Nike, and what he was planning to do, where it was going. And it's interesting to read the article today. It was in the Harvard Business Review back in 1992. And it really tells you about the sort of vision for Nike, that's sort of their approach. And in only about 800 words, he kind of lays out how you build a big brand like that. So, interesting piece. And then we're expanding the back section, called it Backdrop, the bit at the back of the stage. And we've got interesting stuff in that. So it's just reviewing things and bringing other stuff in. And there's a student competition in that one, actually, that we did on our Cresta Award side and did it in partnership with Lurtz's. And we had various winners coming through from that, and we reviewed that. It was a really amazing film out of the it's a German film school. But which one was it? Name a German. Yeah, Baden-Württemberg, yeah. Really good film out of that. And actually, this piece of work's interesting, which is on this spread, on this page here. And this guy who's somebody I was talking to earlier from Prague. Who's from Prague? You, yeah. So this guy is in Prague, Carlos Pabugian. He's in VML Y&R in Prague. He's from Brazil, I think. And for his spare time activity, he plays on Midjourney platform, midjourney.com. You can't quite read it, that's what it says up to. So it's kind of reviewing what he's done with AI, and he's been just generating these crazy sets of pictures using AI. So he puts in a few words, like, I think this one here is part of the Frida Kahlo set. So he'll put in Frida Kahlo, amazing, interesting woman artist out of Mexico. He might put in, what else is in there? Disney or something. Frida Kahlo, Disney, textile, jewel-like, or something, basically. And then he sees what comes out, and then he tunes it, and then he gets these amazing sets of pictures. And it's just incredible ways people are starting to do in AI. And I was just talking yesterday with Michael Weinzettel, who's the longtime editor of Lurtz's archive, and we were talking about AI and this campaign out of Paris that's just happened, which Ogilvy has done. I've forgotten the brand, that's terrible. It's a milk product brand, I think. But they've taken this Vermeer painting and using AI, they've done this film where the painting, which is the woman pouring a picture by Vermeer, has become this huge scenario. It's all generated by AI. So we'll do an analysis of that soon in the magazine. It's just incredible what AI is starting to do for creating stuff, for creating ads. So terrific stuff. So we're getting into all of that, and we'll be showing that on much more on the website. I think that's the last image for now. Yeah, that's what it used to be. And I've just shown you where we're going, so slightly reverse order. This is coming to pieces in my hand. Not good, is it? What was I going to say now? Just final point, really, is, to make it really relevant to you, I thought I'd give you all something, which is all of you doing this project today. I'd love you to be our beta testers on the website, which basically means I give you a free sub to play with on the website. Okay, it's 150 euros for the people out there. And some are already buying the rubbish website at good money. So this is going to be a fantastic website. It was supposed to launch in April. It was supposed to launch in July. And here we are today. And the guy in Nottingham or Leicester or wherever this agency is that I'm working with, he's waiting for a stick of data that's come from the web company near Vienna that built the original site, and it's going across to him to patch up with the stuff that's coming from somebody in the US who's been transcribing the archive, and it's a nightmare, unbelievable nightmare. But we'll have a website soon, it'd be amazing, and it's going to be all the more amazing because you're going to tell me what you don't like about it, or what ideas you have about it, and all that kind of stuff, in return for having a free one, okay? So please, make sure you give me your emails so we can offer that to you when it comes along. Because the future for the magazine is actually with you and your contemporaries, and please take it and run with it, and I'm just here to facilitate that in a way, okay? So I'm really looking forward to working with my group. Sabina, I know, I couldn't quite find the rest of you yet, and I'm really looking forward to spending time with you next 3 days. Great. Sorry.
You have to connect with Louis, because to be your first work in Lutz's archive is a step forward for your career, for your life. Everybody wants to be in. I think it's better than to win in Cannes to be in Lutz's, because it's printed and it's forever. It's forever to be in Lutz. So take his email address and send him your best work. The students' contest is still alive. Students' still so students' contest still. But your best work to Lutz's archive, to Louis, and you will earn more money, be famous, get better boys, better girls, bigger cars, whatever, bigger houses. So that's it. Now, Colette, I know you since years and years. Colette, I'm super curious about Colette's speech. The speech is called "How I Learned to Stop Putting Lipstick on Pigs and Love Banking." Colette, your stage. Welcome, Colette. Thank you to have you here.
Okay, so that goes forward. Okay, it's pointing backward though. Okay, great. Let me just start by saying, oh my God, I'm talking with Lewis Blackwell. It's amazing. It's like a dream of my career. So it's a good title, right? I have no idea where it's going to go still, like much of what I'm doing at the moment. It's a work in progress. But I've always wanted to give one of these like really jaded, creative speeches. I was at Design in Darba, probably 10 years ago. Lewis, I'm sure you know Design in Darba. It's an amazing, you've spoken there a few times. I've seen you on stage, starstruck. But it's a brilliant design conference and festival of creativity. And about, 15 years ago, I saw Peter Civil on stage, and he literally spent about 30 minutes sighing. And showing us magnificent work, album covers that he'd done for Joy Division and other amazing bands. But every kind of piece of work was punctuated with a sigh, and I was like, wow, I want to do that. Like, I want to be like a tortured creative. Unfortunately, I'm still really excited about creativity, so I'm not going to spend my time sighing, but I am going to hopefully share some of my learnings from the past 20 years with you. So, yeah. Okay. So first off, quick question. Who here has done an ethics course as part of your studies? Ethics? Did you start off in medicine, or was it part of your creative course? Okay. Okay. And how long was it? Okay. So 1, 2, maybe you saw another hand somewhere. Okay. So with great power comes great responsibility, right? And as creatives, we are, especially as these creatives here, we're responsible for helping people to make good decisions. We have huge power in our hands to influence, to tell stories, to make people fall in love with things. And unfortunately, a lot of those things are pigs. We put lipstick on them. We make them look pretty, right? So Lewis was talking about AI. This is not Midjourney, this is DALL-E. You guys should sign up, it's super fun. I had much fun at 1 o'clock this morning putting lipstick on pigs. So really what that saying means is to make something that is undesirable to man, desirable to man. Or women, women also are experience desire. So for the past, 15 years of my career, maybe 20 years, I have been working with various clients. I've done a lot of work with Coca-Cola in South Africa. This was a real-life rainbow that we made for them over a billboard to celebrate 20 years of the Rainbow Nation in South Africa. All of these pretty things. And in the long run, I hate to say it, it's a pig. And I'm sorry to my past clients and my past agency. I didn't realize this was going to be online, but it's out there now. It's a sugary drink that we're selling to teens and kids. People are getting obese, they're getting diabetes. And I spent 10 years of my life not being with my family to make this work. That, yes, won awards, great. But like, what was I actually doing? You know, when you stand back and look at it, what value are you adding in the world? Another favorite of mine, banking. So we rebranded Africa's biggest bank. It was Barclays, ABSA at that stage, and Barclays pulled out of Africa. And ABSA, who was the existing bank, wanted to rebrand and reclaim their Africanness. And they asked for Revolution, a bank, and we were like, yes, revolution, we're going to change banking, we're going to break it, it's going to be amazing. And we made all these amazing stories. Can you press play? Sorry, I have no idea. Okay, so...
Africanacity is a big budget space movie filmed in your backyard. At ABSA, we love Africanacity.
So celebrating everything about Africa that is tenacious and get things done and make a plan, and making it pretty. And what was the change that happened? Simplify your life with one account. Like revolution. Yeah, okay. And the sad thing is that, you know, all of these banks, they all look the same, right? At your side, worldwide. What are we actually doing? We're selling you credits, we're giving you a place to put your money, but we're not really thinking about what we're doing, we're just thinking about the bottom line. And this is the best part. Agencies line up for those tasks. They want them, they're asking for them so that they can have these lovely pictures. How cute is that? Like people sitting in the logo, right? It's great. This is what we all want to do with our lives. Okay, so this is what these guys look like as well. So this is Commerzbank in Germany, in Berlin. It's big grey buildings. Nobody knows what goes in there, in there. Nobody really kind of understands finance. Does anyone here really understand finance? I mean, I know we're all creatives, you know, but maybe there's one or two of us here that really does. No, okay, great. I'm not alone then. So again, like big, ugly pigs, right? And I think the point that I'm trying to make is stop and think about what you're doing as a creative. Kind of easy test in terms of if it's worth doing or overdoing, as Charlotte said. Ask yourself, does it need lipstick? Because if it does, it's probably not a really great product. It's probably something that's not adding any good to the world or going to make a change. And especially for your generation, like the world is so full of change that needs to happen, and you guys have the power, you have all these amazing tools at your disposal. And I think the world is changing, and that's the exciting thing for you guys, is that my generation kind of came in and lived the sex, drugs, and rock and roll advertising life, and we put lipstick on pigs, and we didn't think about it because it was just about awards and doing cool things. And now I think creatives have a chance to really sit at the table and impact products, not just tell stories, but really lend your creativity to creating the product that you are selling. And that's something that you should never compromise on. If you're sitting on the other side of the boardroom table and your client isn't willing to take your feedback and make the product better, then just ask yourself what you're doing. That's all I'm asking. Like I said, this is work in progress. I'm winging it. So let's talk about bacon quickly, okay? So we spoke about pigs. I'm 42, so I'm not like down with the vegan thing yet. I'm working on it, but I do still love bacon. It's delicious, it's nutritious, it clogs your arteries, but we're not going to talk about that. But it has a real use in the world, right? You don't need to put lipstick on it. It's good. It's a great product. And, image dropped off. Okay, I knew that was going to happen. So this was supposed to be a photo of my copyright. Sorry, I'm from South Africa. I get a little bit nervous when there are loud noises. Johannesburg, South Africa, not Cape Town. Cape Town's good like that. So this was supposed to be a photo of Ellie, my 25-year-old copywriter. I'll, I don't know, show it to you guys later. And she has the luxury of being involved in the startup that we're working on at the moment. I'm 42, I'm the oldest person in the startup, the CEO is 25. Ellie is 25, and together we are reinventing banking as we know it. Well, we hope we are. We don't know what it's going to look like yet. But the idea is that we're kind of breaking it down and we're starting again and we're going, what are the things that you need to know? What are the things that really are going to impact your life? Understanding your finances, saving, not credit. Save now, buy later, not the other way around. Statistics, understand where you're spending your money, why you're spending your money, save your money right, set saving goals, save together with your friends, learn. There's a feed, you'll see it in the video now, that actually just has cool educational content, making banking fun. And I don't know where it's going to go, and there's a really good chance that it's going to fail, and that I'm going to be living in a very expensive Berlin flat and not able to pay rent next year. But it's worth the ride, right? It's worth trying to change something that's broken. Banking for too long has been hiding in plain sight. Nobody's tried to change it. So here's a little, this very rough kind of taste of what's to come. There's no audio. Sorry, let's just try that again because it's better with music. Yeah, if you can, sorry. Thanks. Idea where it's going to go, but we're having fun and we're making something that we believe in, and hopefully we're going to change the world. Hopefully it's going to be the best bank in the world. That's the aim. Another thing that's really bacon, and I think kind of last words from me, grab this opportunity. Tourism is amazing. Like it's the most amazing industry to work in, and I worked with South African tourism for many years. We made great short movies, we told amazing stories. Travel is really something worth sinking your teeth into. It feeds economies, it broadens minds. Travelers are generally not people that go out and start wars. I think that's my hypothesis anyway. So it's here for us, guys. It's here for the taking. Like, that is pure bacon, or the soup that I can't remember. So let's rock Vilnius.
This was really a deep dive. I'm impressed. Yes, cool. Thank you very much. Eva, your turn. Your turn. Eva is talking about why one GIF is worth 1,000 words. We gave a GIF here. You have had a GIF with Charlotte on. It's an analog GIF. You saw it? The clap, 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 clap.
No,
It's here. It's an analog GIF. This one. It's like a GIF, but it's not digital. Eva, your stage. Your stage. Thanks a lot.
Hey guys. Not really sure how to use this one. Hey guys, so yeah, Basically, I have been working with a lot of copywriters in my life because I'm an art director, and they always seem to tell me that copy is all that matters, and you're there just to finally add the little touches at the end and like make it beautiful. And I wanted to make a case for a visual language for us, to all of our art directors who kind of want to feel like they're important as well, because I always felt like I was being put down, but hey, there's a reason why visual language is important. And we're going to be talking about GIFs and why we're so compelled to send the GIFs. So have you ever been short of words and kind of just sort of felt like sending a GIF? Well, we see it in Giphy as well, and that's a platform that has been used for millions of users daily, and 1 million GIFs a day is being sent. It's insane amount of visual language that's being used to communicate with each other. And so why is it so compelling to converse in these short form animations? Well, perhaps because it's the most primitive way of communication that dates back to way prehistoric years, way before words were even invented. So let me tell you a little story about how caveman animators came to our lives. Basically, have you ever seen cave paintings and thought that they're a little scratched, a little dull, something is strange, and something feels like they've been violated? Well, we've been thinking that this is a kind of a prehistoric caveman vandalism for a long time. But it was up until 1993 where this researcher called Edward Wachtler kind of discovered a little secret. By the way, these are all the Edwards that I found on the Google, and none of them seem to be right, so let's stick to Indiana Jones. So the story goes like that. Basically, there was this cave called La Mochi. It was a cave in France, and while researchers were looking into cave paintings, this was a cave that was not really well funded, so therefore it didn't have any artificial lights there. Our Edward was really curious, so he just took a local farmer and asked him to bring a lantern and go inside the cave with him. And that's where he discovered the beautiful secret. So as the farmer swung his lantern, Edward explained, and I'm going to read the quote because he said it really beautifully. By the flickering firelight, a secret of a cave painter was exposed. In a space of a few moments, I saw cuts and dissolves, change and movement. Form appeared and disappeared. Color shifted and changed. I was watching a movie. So basically, what I'm trying to say that modern science has let it slip through the cracks. The fact that actually artificial light or fire was used for way more than warmth and cooking. It actually helped our species to communicate. Only very recently and way too late for us to fully put it in our textbooks and everywhere else have we discovered that the fire helped us build communities, and by providing a tool for sharing emotions and knowledge in a form of very engaging storytelling. So basically, these animated wall visuals played a significant role in building human evolution. So for tens of thousands of years, this form of communication drove our species forward in the same way as language does, and the same way as book does and words does. And just to be very clear how important it is, this kind of communication dates way back before we even had the language. Just to see how it works, like we have a huge history of humankind, but for some reason, the way we learn about it, we take 10% of our education to talk about tens of thousands of years, and 90% of education to talk about the past 2,000 years, where we talk about every writer we have and every little book that we wrote. Not little, but you know what I mean. So anyways, what my point is that it is quite cool that cavemen would go back after a long day of hunting and gathering and bond over watching some prehistoric Netflix. Isn't that cool? So yeah, we used moving images to communicate without needing words, and therefore paleontologists, the cool ones, say that they invented cavemen invented animation. So what I'm trying to say that while written communication is very cultured and sophisticated and beautiful, maybe it's kind of great to remember that there is something undoubtedly primally human to send a gift instead. Thank you guys. Stay primal.
Very cool. Short break? What? Short break? Well, short break. Okay, short break. Bye. No, thanks a lot, Eva. I'm the last one to inspire you, to shout to you. I hope this is the right direction. Here we go. Here we go. Lovely logo. I love it. My short speech or short hint is to you. That's me, HP. Get crazy! Get crazy! Yeah. And I'll explain you that it's not just my hobby to tell you get crazy, but it's worth to think about to be crazy, and it's to get crazy is even worth a lot of money. In the last years, even today I learned a lot. Charlotte is my teacher. I learned a lot about the life, about advertising, about things in life. And sometimes I read even books. And a book came to me. This book is done by Paul Feldwick. It's called The Anatomy of Humbug. It is a fantastic book. I really recommend to you to read this book, buy this book, and to read it and to reread it. Read it slowly and reread it. You will find a lot of giants in there, and people. Not yet a picture. There's another picture coming with another hint. Paul Feldwick, excuse me, but Paul Feldwick is a super wise guy. He knows, I think, everything about advertising, the history of advertising, about theories about advertising, stuff like that. And he's cool. It's not easy to read for me, for Austrians, but it's worth to read and to reread it and to give it away to people you might love. This guy, Olaf, is a friend of us. Olaf did these cards. Olaf is about these cards. Olaf did a podcast with Paul Feldwick, which I recommend. Now you take the picture, please. This is the book, and this is the podcast. Olaf did a podcast with Paul Feldwick. It's for free, the podcast, and it's super interesting and inspiring because they talk about theories about advertising, what worked in the past, and in the past, not everything was bullshit, by the way. In the past, there had been fantastic ideas, gorgeous ideas, really, really amazing ideas. My god is Howard Lagosich, for example. This guy invented things before even this internet. Maybe the internet will come up. This internet had been on Earth with ideas like really amazing things, mouth-to-mouth advertising, stuff like that, years before this digital stuff happened. Have a look at the book. Have a look, listen to the podcast with Paul Feldwick. Paul Feldwick, in his book, writes about all the theories that came up about advertising, how advertising works, and how it may work, and he analyzes these theories. In this book, he talks about all the rules there are out about advertising, like this copy strategy, benefit, reason why, AIDA. You know AIDA? Everybody knows AIDA: attention, interest, desire, stuff like that. And and he says all of those theories are fine, and they work. They work. Also, one theory is in this direction and the other is in this direction, but it may work. And why is that so? And he has a fantastic picture. He writes and talks about a poem, I think it's from India, a poem about 7 or 9 blind monks. See, these blind monks should describe an elephant. And obviously they didn't see an elephant before because they are blind. And they have the elephant there and they should describe the elephant. And one of them goes to the elephant and says, an elephant looks like a column. He's on the leg, looks like a column. And the other one says, an elephant looks like a wall. He's at the belly. And the third one says, an elephant, he's on the, what to call it? On the trunk. On the trunk. Here, an elephant looks like a snake. And all of them, they are right. Their truth is right. It's correct. But they don't see the whole picture. Don't see the whole picture, and because the elephant looks like a leaf on the ear and so on. They don't see the whole picture, but everything is in the part of true, and it works. There's another picture by our friend Stefan Sagmeister. He collects jokes. The first joke of the day. He collects jokes in his exhibitions, and there is a fantastic joke. I love it. How many art directors or designers do we have here? Art directors, designers? More, huh? The joke is, Charlotte, how many art directors do you need to change a bulb? So this is the right answer. Don't trust briefings. Don't trust clients. Don't trust yourself, because does it have to be a bulb? A typical answer of an art director: rechange your thinking. What is it we are talking about? What is it? And if you are on this kind of point, you may have completely different solutions than if you're not on the straight way of the client says, I have to this and the copy strategy and the reason why. No, get rid of this borders and of these restrictions. Paul Feldwick suggests these 6 ways of advertising you can follow. It's just a suggestion. You can have more of those. Advertising as a salesmanship, seduction, salience, social connection, advertising as a spin, and now that's my point, showbiz. Showbiz, here we are, here we go. Show is fantastic. Advertising as a showbiz. Entertainment, pure entertainment. And we come to P.T. Barnum. P.T. Barnum, he lived in, his great things was in 1835, he was a showman, and he was, he looks like, A.T. Barnum, and he was called the biggest show on earth. He calls himself the King of Hamburg. The King of Hamburg, and here we are because of the title of the book, the Hamburg, and he says, "I'm doing just Hamburg." He did shows. For example, in his shows, he had an old black lady, and he said, "This old lady is 200 years old, or 180 years old, 200 years old, and she was the nurse of George Washington." It's of course not true. Everybody knows it's not true, but it was fantastic entertainment. And hundreds of thousands of people went to his shows to see this 200 years old black lady, the nurse of George Washington. It was fantastic entertainment. Those days there was no Netflix, and people loved to be there. And of course it was Hamburg, but it was fantastic entertainment, and people loved to go there and paid money, and he get sort of rich and famous and traveled around the world and had great fun doing Hamburg, which is fantastic. And we also can do Hamburg. Another example, of course, it's fake, but people say, 4 legs, Hamburg. Red Bull, the Stratus jump. you know this thing, the Mr. Thing jumped from, I don't know, 10 kilometers to the earth. Completely humbug. For a soft drink, jumping from the whatever heaven to earth, it's completely humbug, but fantastic entertainment. And fantastic, I mean, Red Bull gives you wings, ha ha ha. But yeah, hey, he's flying from earth to earth. It's completely humbug. Crazy. Get crazy. This guy is Mr. Mateschitz, the owner of Red Bull, is completely crazy, but super successful doing humbug and doing entertainment and entertaining people. So, how many art directors do you need to change? I mean, it's back to the roots. Get crazy. Read this Paul Feldwick, and I have another example for you to motivate you to get crazy. I'll have two examples, but just play one. I could play. No, don't touch it. Don't even think about to touch. I could play Buster the Boxer. You know it. Christmas is coming, but I think I choose the other one, which I really. It is one of my most favorite commercials, and I didn't have a clue why it works. And after reading Paul Feldwick, humbug is working and entertainment is working. Now I know why this fantastic commercial is working so fantastic. It's the Cadbury one. Here we go. And loud, very loud. It's not no sound at all. Pardon me? There's no sound, boy. Show me. Louder. Start from the beginning. From the beginning. Come on, I can sing. Crazy. I mean, I don't know why they sold chocolate like hell. They told you. I don't know why, but I know now. I know why, because you entertain me well. I buy your product. That's all. No, that's another example. Without sound. I mean, this is the one from the Universal Everything company. It's done in South Korea, and it's also. I mean, it doesn't mean anything, but it looks fantastic. It's a fantastic entertainment. You stay. I think if I would live there, I would stand all day long watching this fantastic video of these moving people from Universal Everything. It's again, get crazy. It's completely crazy. They don't talk about things you can buy there. It's just a fantastic visual and fantastic movie, and it's really humbug, crazy, and I love it. But where's the copy strategy? Where's the reason why? Where's the benefit? Fuck you. Get crazy. Thank you. Now the next point. You want to? No, Sandra. Sandra, my fantastic not assistant. She's the boss now.
Okay, so what we will do now? Some historical perspective. So right now is 2022, and we are moving to 2023, and Vilnius is celebrating 700 years anniversary, and this happened when. In 1323, the Grand Duke of Lithuania, he wrote letters to Europeans, knights, farmers, to come and live and create things in Vilnius. And so 700 years after, we wrote in emails, like electronic emails to you, to invite you to come here and also create ideas for Vilnius. And what we will do right now, we will have a discussion which will be very interesting because advertising strategist Tomas Bartninkas gonna interview a historian, Alfredas Bumblauskas, who is, when you're saying in Lithuania historian, there is always Alfredas Bumblauskas like pop up in your mind. The discussion will be in Lithuanian. So what we will ask you to do right now, we will make like a short break for like 5 minutes. So everybody that needs translation, we invite you to go to the last class or in the kitchen. So like you could split in two, and like everybody who speaks Lithuanian, of course, could stay here. So, and after this, we're gonna have a break. So, yeah, let's do that right now. So let's split into 2 groups, in the kitchen and in the last class, okay? Good?
Hold on. About the group, because we have left, I think, you have your group.
Pradedam, ar ne? Tai ką, sveiki, profesoriau.
Sveiki, sveiki.
Pirmiausiai, įspėju, kalbame lėtai, taip?
Jau greitai kalbi.
Ir kalbame aiškiai, nes žmonės istorijos nežino.
Gerai.
Tai čia yra nuostabiausias profesorius istorijos, žinovas Lietuvos istorijos ir Vilniaus, aišku, istorijos, na, ir aš toks kuklus tarnas, reklamistas, reklamos žmogus.
Gerai.
Profesoriu, tai pakalbėkim žmonėm, kurie Vilnių žino mažiau, kuo Vilnius nuo jo paminėjimo pirmojo prieš 700 metų, taip parašė mūsų kunigaikštis pagonis tos laiškus tiems tikėjimo kito žmonėms, na ir prasidėjo ta istorija. Kuo Vilnius tada galėjo būti įdomus? Arba iš šios perspektyvos dabar, kodėl tai buvo kažkas įdomesnio, kad kažkokius laiškus rašo iš Vilniaus?
Bet pradėkim gal nuo to, kad ne vienas, bent jau kiek žinau, Europos miestas neturi tokios legendos. Pas mus vilkas viską išstaugia.
Papasakim trumpai, kas ten buvo, nes žmonės nežino.
Sostinė Gediminas tuo metu yra Trakuose, atvyksta medžiot į Vilnių, tuo metu Vilniaus dar nėra, pagal legendą, su sapnu toli grįžti Trakus, nakvoja, ten slėnį, kur buvo laidojami, sudeginti Lietuvos valdovai ir susapnuoja sapną, kuriame kaukia geležinis vilkas ant kalno. Ryte pasikviečia burtininką pagrindinį žynį ir klausia, ką tas sapnas reiškia. Lizdeika, toks jo vardas buvo, išaiškina, kad čia tu įkursi miestą, kuris šlove pranoks net geležinio vilko kauksmą. Tokia Vilniaus ir istorija.
Tai reiškia, kad nuo kokia yra Londono legenda?
Aš nežinau tiesą.
Paryžiaus.
Tokių gudrių. Romolo Remo istorija.
Tai reiškia, Roma ir Vilnius turi...
Dovos nelygus. Ir tarp kitko, pažiūrėkit visi europiečiai į savo miestus. Visi lygus kaip stalas. A ne?
Taip.
Ir Paryžius, ir Londonas. Ryga, Talinas, žiūrėkit, kas tai yra. Kažkas sakė, kad tai yra kardiogramos kreivės. Širdies plakimo užrašai.
Tai pas jas lygų.
Lygų ir tokie čiuk, važnyčių kreivės. O mes esame karališkas vilko miestas.
Ant kalvų.
Ant kalvų. Tokio landšafto, tokio Europa neturi. Roma.
Opa.
Taškas.
Bet tada gaunasi labai įdomus dalykas. Miesto nieks nežino, jo nėra. Nes nežino. Bet jau prekės ženklas,
Jau pagrindinis. Man užtenka net geležinio vilko.
Tai va, nes, reiškia, miestas tik atsiranda, iš karto turi savo legendą, prekės ženklą.
Ir reklaminė akcija.
Visiškai.
Mūsų valdovas pirmasis yra tikras jūsų mokyklos įkūrėjas.
Nes jis padarė reklaminę kampaniją. Parašė laiškus.
Laiškus visiems Vokietijos miestams, vienuolynams. Ir taip ir tiesiai viename laiške sako, kad garsas eitų iki Romos.
Ir turbūt nuėjo, nes tie žmonės čia atvažiavo.
Tai jau būtent. Vokiečių priemiestis atsirado, yra Vokiečių gatvė.
Tai kodėl jūs mokytos, kad viskas blogai čia pas mus?
Dėl to, kad viskas blogai. Dėl to taip lietuviai sako.
Gerai. Puiku, žiūrėkit, įdomus dalykas. Man antras klausimas. Atvažiavę tūli žmonės į Vilnių, draugai mano, visi labai nustemba, atvažiuoja ir sako, aš nesuprantu, kokios čia religinės konfesijos miestas. Nes pažiūrėjau vieną pusę. Katalikų kryžius, kitoje pravoslavų, protestantų, karaimų darbo bažnytėlė, kitur neturime Kenesą, tada turime žydų, aišku, musulmonų. Tai čia yra išskirtinumas ar čia kiekvienam taip miestą?
Dabar Europa, kai su visokiausiais pabėgėliais, galbūt jau keičiasi, bet istorijoje Vilnius yra unikalus. Vilnius turi 10 konfesijų. 10. Ką Europa turi? Geriausiu atveju Augsburgo taika Vokietijoje toleruoja katalikai, protestantus ir dar žydai, aišku, yra. 3-4. Mes turime 10. Skaičiuojam, žiūrėk, elementariai. Katalikai, Romos, graikai katalikai, stačiatikiai. 3 jau galingos krikščioniškos bažnyčios. Protestantizmo 3 šakos. Liuteronai, kalvinistai, antitrinitoriai Ir tada dar žydai, karaimai, totoriai, nu dar armėnus galima pridėti. Ir dar sentikius galim pridėti. 11 jau suskaičiavau.
Tai reiškia, miestas lyg ir pakrašty, bet turi viską.
Bet jis turi imperinio metropolio požymius. Nes mes užvaldėm galingas rytų Europos erdves ir iš Vilniaus tai buvo valdoma. Taip kaip dabar Prancūzijos futbolo komandai lošia visi juodi, žmonės.
Ne, pas jūs įvairiausių.
Įvairiausių tautų. Tai yra sąskaita metropoliui. Išrašė valdiniai. Taip mums Vilniui išrašo sąskaitą. Karaimai tautų, kas tik nori.
Gerai, tada kitą klausimą. Užkabinome, mes čia labai džiaugiamės Lietuvoje, labai džiaugiamės. Kai čia sako, čia va Ukraina, sakom, čia viskas mūsų, ir Ukraina ir Baltarusija, nesgi buvo Lietuva nuo Vilniaus iki čia Lietuva. Bet tai tas Vilnius, kai jisai buvo tokiam, ar nėra toks lyg kraštas, pakraštys kažkokio pasaulio, ar ne?
Jeigu atmesime Jekaterinos korupciją, Rusijos imperatorius, kuri papirko prancūzų švietėjus, Volterą. Ir jie pradėjo sakyti, kad yra Rusija Europoje ir Europos riba eina Uralų. Mėlyje, kas pasakė, kad Europos riba eina Uralų? Mes uždraudžiam Vilniui tą sakyti. Mes esame Europos pakraštys. Mes esame ne Europos centre, kaip čia visi kaifuoja, o mes esame Europos bastionas. Pas mus atvykus, tu pamatai, kas už Europos.
Taigi mes su profesoriu kalbėjom. Mes kaip kalbėjom, gal pakraštys skamba baisiai, betgi kaip visi nori pamatyti pasaulio kraštą, bet būt pasaulyje.
Taip.
Stovint pasaulio kraštą.
Saugiai, gražiai, ir ten matai kažkas.
O ten tie atsilikėliai keistuoliai, o mes čia.
Taip.
Tai mes esame tas bastionas, kur Europa yra dar Europa.
Taip, ir čia visi, net Česlovas Milošas, vienas garsiausių Vilniečių, atsiimdamas Nobelio premiją, 80 metais sakė, yra gera gimti šaly, kuri šiaurės girias numestas itališkos architektūros miestas.
Tai čia barokas.
Čia barokas.
Gerai. Kas tas barokas Vilniuje?
Visų pirma, jis yra nepaprastai kitoks. Jonas Kristupas Glaubicas, Vilniaus baroko architektūros genijus, sukūrė dvibokščių bažnyčių principą.
Tai čia pas mus tai sukurta?
Čia pas mus tai sukurta. Tai yra Vilniaus baroko požymis.
Tai kodėl jūs niekad nesakė to?
Blogai klausai.
Aišku, kad tai
yra iš tikrųjų Vilniaus barokas, kuris savo poveikio erdve neturi lygių Europoje. Glaubico bažnyčia, to paties architekto, Stislavlis yra 500 km į rytus. 200 km Minskas, 200 km Mogiliovas ir dar 100 km už Dniepro. Vilniaus baroko poveikio erdvė neturi lygių niekam. Italų mokyklos, vokiečių mokyklos, austrų.
Tai galim sakyti, baroką išrado italai, bet geriausiai jį
paleido pasaulį mes.
Vilnius. Nes viskas Vilniuje. Čia mes sukūrėme dvibokščius, nežinau, ir praleido tą paskaitą iš tikrųjų. Alus pigus buvo tada labai. Gerai, puiku, barokas, pakabinom. Tada, gerai. O dar tada paimkim tas bjaurius laikus. Pripažinkim, Vilnius tai toksai kryžkelė. Čia vis dėlto eidavo, kas netingėdavo.
Dėl to, kad yra tiesiausias kelias iš Berlyno į Maskvą.
Taip. Tai čia ėjo ir rusai, ir
Napoleonas ėjo, švedai ėjo, prancūzai.
Napoleonas. Paaiškinkit man tada, nes kažtai sako, kai mes jau buvom nebe savasties neturėjom, buvom okupuoti Rusijos imperijos, ar ne? Tai vėl pakraštys, tik tada jau kitos Rusijos imperijos. Tai atrodytų blogai, bet aš visas atsimenu, kai Napoleonas garsusis, reiškia, laipinusi per Nemuną ir puolė Rusijos imperiją, kasgi Vilniuje vyksta? Ogi Vilniuje Aleksandras caras. Tai kokie velnius čia veikia?
Visų pirma, lietuvės yra labai gražios moteris. Ir iki šiandien. Aš esu Bonos vidury susilažinęs su vokiečiais, kad nepraeis ne viena graži vokietė ir laimėjau lažybas. Nes sakiau, Gedimino prospekte, va čia už lango, praeina kas 5 minutės.
Nu gerai,
Laimėjau.
bet grįžtam tai Aleksandrą.
Tai žinojo ir Aleksandras ir Napoleonas.
Taip.
Dėl to gražius moteris.
Bet nes Aleksandras tuo metu kas čia buvo, reiškia, jam čia patiko, buvo įdomus miestas.
Taip,
kodėl?
Jis turėjo meilužę čia.
Nu, be meilužės miestas, tai čia buvo gal įdomus miestas, ar ne?
Nu ir visų pirma,
Operos,
jis buvo Rusijos imperijos atžvilgių. Tai buvo universitetinis miestas, kuris neturėjo imperijos kontekste lygių. Čia buvo miestas, kai Napoleonas pat po to klausė. Sako, ką čia dėstai pas Vilniaus universitetą? Sako, Lenkų literatūra. Ką, Lenkai turi literatūrą? Toks nežinojimas jau tada buvo. O tada sako, o tas ką dėstų, sako, chemija. Chemija? Kokia chemija gali būti dėstoma Vilniui? Jam kukliai profesorius atsako, tokią pačią, kokią Paryžiui.
Matai, va. Tai žodžiu, mes...
Vilnius buvo miestas europinis tada, su puikiu universitetu, su puikia architektūra ir buvo europinis. Dėl to ir carai, visiems jo reikėjo.
Visiems reikėjo. Gerai. O mes dar kalbėjome tokia įdomi tema, laukdami, jeigu grįžti vėlgi, aš taip šakinėjau, bet galim sau leisti, kadgi buvo ne vienas Vilnius, kaip jūs sakėt, minimum 2.
Nu tai čia mes šnekam apie tai, kad stebėsi, kad Vilnius yra kaip Šiaurės Jeruzalė. Vilnius iškart kūrėsi kaip 2 miestai, ar net 3. Yra valdovo aplinkos miestas, lietuviškas, o šalia iškart priemiesčiai. Nuo Polocko erdvės Rusėnų, iš kur atsiras galingasis Pranciškus Skorina, ir Vokiečių gatvėje nuo Rygos vokietukai. Jau 3 miestai iš karto. O tada jau plečiasi šitie miestai ir kad rusų, aš nebijau šito žodžio, iš Maskvos reikia atimti žodį rusai, tai yra Maskovija, rusai yra mūsų, kaip ir žydai.
Mūsiškiai.
Mūsiškiai. Ir žydai, rusai yra mūsų Vilniaus Lietuvos. Tai rusai sugeba gauti miestą visą iš Vytauto ir sukuria metropolitas, stačiatikių vyskupas, miestą savo, ko neturi nei Kijeve, nei Naugarduke. Tai jau savaime 2 miestai. Kitam pavaldume net. Yra vyskupo, katalikiškas miestas, yra stačiatikiškas.
Faina, kad yra Vilniuje, yra daug Vilnių.
Daug Vilnių. Galima sakyti, kad jeigu norėsim...
Tautų, konfesijų.
Skirtingų tautų, konfesijų Vilnių.
Nu gerai, paimkime visą laiką įdomiausius.
Ir to nėra nei vienos Europos mieste. Nėra nei vienos sostinės, kuri būtų iš 2 dalių tokių stambių. Ir ne vienos sostinės, kuris 16 amžiui turėtų 10 konfesijų.
Gerai. Nu žiūrėkit, jeigu čia kas klausot, nesupratot nieko, tai prašykit man, aš jums paaiškinsiu žmonių kalbą, taip?
Taip.
Nes aš moku žmonių kalbą kalbėti. Gerai. Paėmėm įdomų klausimą, tos skirtingos tautos. Nu tai kaip apsieiti be tos tautos, nu kaip, visi žmonės pasaulyje žydai, bet tik žydai tai žino. Ne? Taip. Tai Lietuvos žydai. Tai visą laiką mes sakom geriausi žydai pasaulyje, nes litvakai.
Taip.
Ir aišku, litvakai geriausi yra Vilniuje. Tai Vilnius. Tai vienas dalykas, kas mane labai sunervino, mes su profesoriu kalbėjom, ir ką mes net neišnaudojom, šiek tiek gėda Vilniečiai, beigeliai. Visi normalų žmonės žino, kas yra beigeliai. Nuostabus, tie tokie žydiški, vadinkime, restainiai, kaip čia bepavadinsi. Ir visiškai nesąmonė, dabar ką aš girdau. Taigi, sako, New York'e sukurti beigelį buvo. Nu, labą dieną.
Labą dieną.
Nu, tikrai labą dieną.
Nu, dar pasakys, kad Peterburgė.
Nu, tai ar galima sakyti, ir kodėl pasaulyje pasakyti, kad beigeliai buvo sukurti Vilniaus žydų?
Vilniui, tai aišku. Ir vienareikšmiškai, ir apskritai, mūsų žydai yra tie žydai, kurių Rusija neturi. Nes dar Aleksandro II laikais, 19 amžiaus vidury, žydų sėslumo riba ėjo ties tašku Mariupolis, palei Azovo jūrą. Tai reiškia, ta erdvė, kuri buvo Lietuvoje ir Lenkijoje, ji buvo galima leisti gyventi žydams. O toliau rytus ne. Maskvoje, Peterburgė nebuvo. Rusija neturi žydų, visi žydai mūsiškiai. Jeigu žydai buvo, tai prasikalto, jau po to tapo enkavedistai. Tik 20 amžiaus pradžioj.
Tai žodžiu, apamai, bet šiaipgi kiek garsių yra iš Lietuvos kilusių žydų?
Oi, baisu nesuskaičiuoti.
Menininkai,
muzikai,
mokslininkai.
Nu, prasakykim, Leonardas Koenas.
Taip, visi žino. Litvakas?
Visi Litvakas.
Vilnietis. Ne Vilnietis, bet galima.
Bobas Dylanas. Litvakas. Nu ir taip toliau. Vardė. Mokinai visi.
Ir be Vilniaus Litvakų visos tos mokyklos ir nebūtų. Ne, kaip Vilniaus Gaonas.
Taip. Ir čia nuo jo prasideda. Vilniaus Gaonas yra žydas išminčius, kuris sugebėjo taip redaguoti Talmudą, kad jo redakcija yra laikoma iki šiandien pavyzdinė. Ir iš to laikomi, kad žydai yra patys protingiausi mūsų.
Reiktų to pasigirti daugiau.
Reikėtų apskritai sakyti, kad žydai yra Lite, jiems yra jų gimta šalis.
Lite.
Ir dėl to litvakai. Dėl to patys pasaulio protingiausi žydai yra mūsiškiai.
Vilniečiai. Super. Gerai, tada imkime tokį tamsų laikotarpį, kaip jūs pats pasakėt, kai Lietuva buvo be Vilnius.
Arba Vilnius be
Lietuvos. 200 metų.
200 metų.
Ir čia nelabai yra ir tų lietuvių, ir nelabai mūsų valstybės nėra.
Ir mūsų valstybės nėra. Ir tada kaip tik ištinka didžiosios tragedijos, žydų genocidas, sunaikinimas, holokaustas, sunaikinimas visų rezistencijų. Šiaip Vilnius yra politinių gyvenimo laboratorija. Kas gimsta Vilniuje? Gimsta žydų Šekelis ir Magendovidas. Sionizmas. Žydų ženklas ir žydų pinigas.
Čia Vilniuje?
Vilniuje. Wolfsonas yra Darbėnų žydas. Mūsiškis vis tiek. Visi žino, kur Vilnius.
Taip.
Šalia.
Taip.
Tai va. Tai žydų sionizmas čia. Žydų bundas, žydų socializmas čia. Apskritai socializmas.
Ne, tai ką sakykim, tai socializmas čia, sionizmas čia, net ir komunizmas.
Komunizmas, o Dzeržinskis.
Irgi čia, Vilniuje.
Vilnietis. Iš katalikiškos šeimos, archi. O monarchizmas, o Stolypinas. Tas, kuris Rusiją norėjo prikelt. Piotras Stolypinas. Visi Vilniaus pirmosios berniukų gimnazijos auklėtojai. O žymiausias antikomunistas.
Lėčiau.
Žymiausias antikomunistas. Józefas Pilsudskis. Susimušęs su Dzeržinskiu PVZ. Irgi vilnietiškos kilmės. Du vilniečiai mušasi dėl pasaulio likimo.
Vilnius dėl to savo skirtingumo žmonių buvimo čia tampa tokia laboratorija iš vis kažkokių idėjų, pasaulinių
idėjimų. Ir dėl to visi myli nacionalistai visi. Baltarusių, Lenkų, Lietuvių. Žydai tokie, jie pasauliniai, bet jiems irgi Vilnius pasitusiai rūpi. Žodžiu, kas tik pamato Vilnių, įsimyli. Iškreiptų būdų.
Gerai, provokuojantis klausimas. O nėra problema, kad tą Vilnių visi pamato ir anksčiau buvo netyčia?
Ir taip ir yra. Taip ir yra. Pirmo pasaulinio karo metais vokiečių karininkas Paul Jäger parašė net knygą Vilnių als vergessene Kunststadt.
Nichtenstein, nesupratau.
Vilnius kaip užmirštas meno miestas. Užmirštas meno miestas. Jis negalėjo patikėti, kad tokia grožybė negirdėta, nematyta.
Tai žodžiu, Vilnius tai yra toks žymiai geresnis, negu visi įsivaizduoja.
Taip. Jį reikia pamatyti ir tada bus ką pamilti.
Gerai. Kitas klausimas mes kalbėjome. Toks, tampame mes laisvesni, ar ne? 90 metai. Ne kokie 88 net.
88.
Ar galima...
Bet 90 tai ryškiai.
Taip. Ar galima sakyti, kad Vilnius buvo pirmasis išsilaisvinęs miestas?
Galima. Aišku, visada Lenkai pasakys. Lenkai mūsų reklamos požiūrį aplenkė ir jie su pagrindu, aišku. Lenkų solidarumas yra jėga. Dėl to Gdanske, kai jie sugebėjo solidarumą, žiūrėkit, kaip apversti idėją. Solidarumas ne tarp Lenkijos sluoksnių. Solidarumas tarp Europų. Gdanske gimė Europa. Tai yra Jaltui užmiršta Europa. Jaltui. Čerčilio Roosevelto atiduota Stalinui. Solidarumas sujungė. Bet kur buvo? Vis tiek Lenkija ir Vengrija ir Čekoslovakija buvo sąlyginai savarankiškos šalis. Mes buvom komunizmo lageryje.
Okupuoti Tarybų Sąjungos.
Okupuoti grinai Tarybų Sąjungos. Iš jos pirmieji išnešėm skudurus lietuviai. Kovo 11.
Ir viskas Vilniui sugalvota.
Ir viskas Vilniui. Ir dėl to Vilniui viskas yra paremta Molotovo-Ribbentropo pakto pasmerkimu 39 metų.
Tai čia trumpai paaiškinam, tai buvo...
1939 metais Hitleris ir Stalinas pasidalino Europą. Kas yra antro pasaulinio karo priežastis?
Taip.
Tai mus tiesiogiai liečia, nes mus pasidalino Hitleris su Stalinu. Ir tada ta rugpjūčio 23 tapo lemtingų datų. Ta diena kažkas neramumai vyksta 87-ais, 88 metais vyksta galingi sąjūdžio mitingai, 89 Baltijos kelias, unikalus kelias Europoje.
Tai čiagi paaiškinom, Baltijos kelias.
Nuo Vilniaus iki Talino sustoja gyvų žmonių grandinė.
Tai palaukit, tai flashmobą mes išradom.
O, prašau.
Nu taip, flashmobą iki tol nebuvo.
Nu, vo.
Tai iškės flashmobą sugalvojo Vilniuje sėdinti žmonės, kaip parodyt Gorbačiovui, visiems tiem idiotam, kad mūsų nepaimsi tankais.
Ir kad mes esame vieningi
tokie. Tai susikabina žmonės rankomis nuo Vilniaus iki Talino ir pasaulį parodo.
Nu, ir tą pačią dieną, už porų metų...
Čia, kad pajokauju, Vytas sakė, nesusikabinkim rankom, nes jeigu kažkas paimks elektrą, tai visus nutrenks nuo Talino iki Vilniaus, bet nepajungia.
Ir tą pačią dieną, jau dar už poros metų, 91 metais, nuvertėm pirmieji Sovietų sąjungoje buvusių Leniną. Lukiškių aikštėje.
Tai pirmas Leninas...
Tas foto perėjo per visą pasaulį.
Tai pirmas nugriautas Leninas yra Vilniuje. Tai darom išvadą, kad mes laisvės miestas.
Antikomunizmo štabas, bunkeris, pakraštys, bet gerai.
Super. O Dieve, kaip gerai. Nu gerai, žiūrėkit, prisiminsim dabar kitą. Čia aš irgi pašakinėsiu. Čia dabar visai neseniai nuskambėjo net mum patiem. Turim tokią bėdą, nemokam kartais ir patys save pamatyti. Bet jau Vilniečių dauguma žino, bet pasaulis tikrai nežino, kad Vilniuje baroko laikais, 17 amžiuje gyveno ir dirbo Tūlas, italas, toks, tų laikų net vadinamas kaip Leonardas da Vinci, išradėjas, visokių, biški aferistas, bet idėjo žmogus, pavardė Kinga Buratinį. Kas nežino, tai Buratinas, tai toks buvo ir sukurtas Tarybų sąjungoje vėliau, Pinokijo kopija apie jį tokia, rusiška, sovietinė. Tai tas Buratinį, pasirodo, globojamas, jo globėjas buvo, kaip nebūtų istorijoje Kinga, buvo Pinokį, tikrai ta asmenybė, Pinokis globojo tą Buratinį ir tas Buratinį sugalvojo metrą. Papasakokit, nes metras, kaip matavimo vienetas, yra gimęs Vilniuje.
Tai aš nežinau, ką daugiau čia papasakot. Vilnius tuo metu yra, man čia yra stebuklas, tarp kitko, sunkiai paaiškinamas. Nes Vilnius yra tarsi nuteriotas, Maskvos okupacijos. Vilniui nebenori gyventi valdovai. Jiems čia per prastą jau. Buratinis gyvena ir sukuria metrą, kuris eina į Europos istoriją. Nežinau daugiau ką pasakyti. Kokiu būdu?
Nes jis pirmasis sugalvojo, kad būtų vieningas mato vienetas.
Vieningas mato vienetas.
Metras.
Ne colis, ne kas nors.
O metras. Tai metras.
Gimė Vilniuje.
O kas dar gimė Vilniuje? Beigelė gimė Vilniuje. Metras. Laisvė, geležinis vilkas, kas dar pas mus gimė? Gal dar kažkas yra, kur kitur nėra? Gal net kažkas durno?
Mes turime universitetą, kuris yra poetų universitetas ir logikų. Tai tokių universitetų retai yra, kad po to eina tradicija. Sarbievijus 17 amžius, 19 amžius, Adomas Mickevičius ir Julius Lovackis, europinio garso poetai, 20 amžius Česlovas Milošas. Kur tokį universitetą rasti?
Gerai. Oho, o dabar tada paimkim tokį mums įdomų, paprovokuosiu šiek tiek jūs. Vilnius yra tarp dviejų karų pasaulinių, pirmojo ir antrojo, priklauso Lenkijai, Lenkai okupavo Vilnių. Ir tada Vilnius kas? Toks, aš atsimenu, jūs sakė, toks blogas miestas buvo, nes garsėjo kišenvagiais, jūs sakėt, odinėm pirštinėm ir prostitutėm. Tai kaip čia dabar taip? Tas toks Vilnius geras ir nelabai geras.
Jį bando nukišti, kaip čia sakyti, kai miestas yra praradęs tarsi savo valstybę. Bet Lenkai dalis sako, kad dėl to jis yra karalių miestas.
O kodėl karalių miestas?
Dėl to, kad jame gimė žymiausia Lenkų dinastija. Lenkų. Jogailaičiai. Jogailos dinastija, valdžiusi 15-16 amžius.
Su Habsburgais.
Jie yra iš Lietuvos. Jie yra Lietuvos valdovai, tapę Lenkijos karaliais. Tai dėl to Vilnius, nesvarbu, kad jis Lietuvos, jis yra Lenkijos karalių miestas. Tai va šito užteko.
Nes Ryga ne karalių miestas.
Ne, Ryga tai yra, kaip jau minėjau, kardiogramos. Tai yra jūreivių pirklių miestas. Tai yra miestietiški miestai, bet ne sostinės, ne metropoliai. Maskva, Rygos ir Talino nebijo. Vilniaus bijo. Su Vilnium mušasi per visus šimtmečius.
Tai ir dabar Rygos Talino nebijo, mūsų Vilniaus bijo. Mums taip atrodo.
Daug dievė, mums taip atrodo.
Gerai, imkim dar kitą tokį bjaurų laikotarpį, kurį jūs ypatingai gerai žinote, aš dar prisimenu. Tarybų sąjunga. Vilnius yra Tarybų sąjungos miestas. Tarybų sąjunga didžiulė valstybė, didžiausia pasaulyje, ar ne, nuo Baltijos jūros iki kokia ten Barenco jūra, tam gal aš nebe. Su geografija man sunkiau.
Baltoji.
Vavareva. Tai kas tas Vilnius Tarybų sąjungoje?
Vis tiek tai yra vakarų, toliausias į vakarus kažkokia tai administracinis vienetas. Nenoriu sakyti, kad sostinė, nes ir sovietmečių yra Vilnius valdomas iš KGB rūmų. KGB, slaptoji sovietų policija.
Taip.
Ir tie rūmai, kurie, tarp kitko, juos mums irgi reikėtų, jeigu Vilnių žinot, tai tada ten susikerta ir komunizmo, ir nacizmo. Ir iš ten ir žydai varomi į panerius, į holokaustus naikinti žydai, iš ten ir žmonės tremiami į Sibirus ir šaudomi.
Tai Vilnius centras net ir blogų dalykų.
Ir tai būtent. Bet va, sovietmečių kažkurio momentu, nudobus Staliną, atsiranda kažkokia švelni erdvė, kad atsiranda Neringos kavinė. Renkasi visi talentai Sovietijos, kad ir tas pats Josifas Brodskis. Parašo eilės.
Brodskis, Nobelio premijos laureatas.
Nobelio premijos laureatas. Renkasi į Vilnių, nes Vilnius yra atgaiva. Ir tada kas? Neringoj pradeda kurt Ganelino, Čekasino ir Tarasovo džiazas. GTC. Kažkas yra pasakęs. Geriausias imperijai džiazas.
Tai žodžiu, džiazas geriausias.
Jeigu džiazą laikyt laisvės muziką, ar ne, tai Vilnius.
O kodėl džiazas? Dėl kad žodžių nėra tenais? Galima lengviau groti Tarybų sąjungai?
Dėl to, kad nereikia natų.
Taip, ir nereikia žodžių. Cenzūrą lengviau paimti.
Aišku.
Tai reiškia, Vilnius vėl tampa net ir toj baisio imperijai.
Nori vis tiek
laisvės miestas. Nes ir dabar mačiaugi, kad visi rusų roko muzikantai, žvaigždės mėga, jie sako, mes važiuodavom į Vilnių, nes čia laisviau kažkaip.
Bet čia užtat buvo griežtesnė cenzūra, dėl to mes turime mažiau roko muzikos. Artiomas Tiroickis, rusų puikus roko kritikas, sako, matyt, Lietuvoje buvo gražios merginos, kad roko muzikos nereikėjo.
Tu esi merginos, ne. Ne, bet tai iškės...
O kodėl tu badėsi, merginos yra vertybė?
Vertybė. Reikia korektiškiau šiais laikais.
O kodėl?
O man vaikinai patinka ir viskas.
Gerai, gal ir vaikinai.
Taip. Tai vėlgi, bet žiūrėkit, bet tada gaunasi, kad mes, tai Vilnius yra laisvas miestas, kas be nutiktų. Taip išeina. Sugeba būti laisvas.
Vadinasi, kas bus, tas nebus, lietuvis nepražus. Taip. Tokie patartai yra, ne? Tai mes kažkokiu būdu...
Kas bus, tas nebus, lietuvis laisvas bus.
Laisvas bus.
Vilnietis.
Tas juodumus mes kažkaip vis tiek išgyvenam. Kad bet kuriuo atveju visa mūsų istorija, tuo pačiu ir Vilniaus istorija, kuris dabar mini 700 metų, yra kažkokia sėkmės istorija, man kas atrodo. Kad ir kaip niokojo ta istorija Vilnių, bet jis yra gražus.
Nu taip. Gerai.
Ką Milošas sakė, Vilnių ir debesis gražiausi pasaulyje, dėl to, kad jie yra barokiniai.
Barokiniai debesis, čia įdomu.
Taip.
Gerai, ką čia dar paklaus, galvoju. Taip, aš čia pasirašęs esu. Taip, apkalbėjom, sovietai, apkalbėjom. Kažkaip čia mes greit apkalbėjom.
Matai?
Aš gau čia mes...
Liepė trumpai kalbėti.
Gerai. Taip.
Pakalbėkim apie Elžbietą II.
Pakalbėkim.
Aš labai norėjau, kai 2006 metais buvo čia, pasiskelbti, kad mes esam Britų sandraugui.
Į ligoninį išvežtų. Kodėl?
O kodėl? Dėl to, kad yra 20 Kisieliaus lašas nuo Gedimino.
Tai aš esu 1000 Kisieliaus lašas nuo Kristaus, kuris vaikų neturėjo.
Bet tu nesi Elžbieta.
Nesu.
O yra iš tikrųjų Vindzoro yra ryšiai per Jogailos dukrą su...
Bet aš taip girdėjau, kad ir Suomijos hokėjaus rinktinės treneris yra Gedimina, mūsų kunigaikščių palikuonis.
O kodėl negaliu?
Taip, betgi jūs sakėte, jeigu taip žiūrėt, tai visi lietuviai tada.
Taip.
Visi vilniečiai. Taip.
Visai sutinku.
Gerai, tai aš ką žinau, bet mes iš principo, aš nežinau, gal dar kažkam klausimų yra, nes liko mums čia ir 8 minutės, gal kažkas gali paklausti, gal ir ten turi klausimų dar.
Ko mes dar nepasakėm, pagalvokim. Apie Vilnių. A? Nu viską atrodo pasakėm, viską gražiai.
Lyg ir viską, kažkaip mes šitaip gavosi. Taip, pažiūrim dar. Kalvas, pakalbėjom, viską apkalbėjome. Buratinį, viską, palaukit, toj. Nu, tai kad aš... Tu gal ir viską žinokit?
Klausimą. O tada, kai rašė Gediminas laiškus atvykti tiems europiečiams čia, ar jie taip puolė ir važiavo?
Kaip jūs norėtumėt?
Tiesa.
Kad pultų, puolė. Ne, iš tikrųjų, procesas vyko labai lėtai, nes Lietuva yra izoliuota. Yra pagoniška. Mes esam atviri tam, kas yra mūsų imperijoje. Dėl to Rusėnų miestas plečiasi jau labai nuo anksti. Rusėnų miestas, žinom, nuo Pilies gatvės į kairę. Vokietukai, jie vis tiek kitos valstybės, iš Rygos. Tai jie pamažu kelias. Bet jau Kęstučio Algirdo laikais yra vokiečių priemiestis. Žodžiu, vienaip ar kitaip Gedimino programą, mano įsitikinimu, realizavo Vytautas. Nes Vytautas apsikrikštijo, įėjo į pasaulio istoriją, nepasakėm, mūsų ir imperatoriai išradingi. Apiplėšė bažnyčią, 2 kareivukai Vytautas sužino, o jis visais būdais norėjo priešintis, kad jį laikytų pagoniu. Jis norėjo būti krikščionis. Tai tie kareivukai sako, karkimės greičiau, Vytautas atjoja. Galite įsivaizduoti, tai Vytautas įeina į pasaulio istoriją šito žingsniu. Dabar ką tik peržiūrėjau Terry Derry, kraupioji istorija, horrible history, ir ten yra šitas faktas. Tai mūsų Vytautas realizavo šitą, bet jis vieniems baisus, o kitus pritraukė. Totorius pritraukė, karaimai jo yra pirmasis apsaugos žiedas, tas kartojasi ir Vilniuje,
čia karaimai tauta, kuri
kurių šiandien tik tai apie 200-300, bet jie unikali tauta išlaikiusi visą savo religiją, kalbą ir tikėjimą.
Kaip aiškint paprastai, nežinant užsieniečiams, tai kaip popiežius turėjo savo kariuomenę, šveicarus, tai mūsų kunigaikščiai Vilniaus turėjo savo gynybą karaimus.
O antras žiedas yra totoriai.
Irgi iš Krymo atkeliavo.
Trečias žiedas turbūt yra tokie iš mūsų pakraščių, tokie pusiau lenkai, pusiau rusėnai. Mes matome tokius palei buivydžius trečią žiedą.
Vėl Vilnius.
Vilnius dengiamas.
Taip.
Tai kai tą žinai, tai tokiu atveju ta mūsų imperija kitokia atrodo. Graži.
O tai pabaigai tada, tai vis tiek, tai tas Vilniaus tolerancija, tai čia yra mitas ar realybė vis dėlto?
Ne mitas. Yra realybė dėl to, kad mes iš tikrųjų esame, mes netgi cerkvės ir bažnyčias duodam tas pačius vardus, kad kol kalendoriai tebėra vienodi, tebėra Julijaus kalendorius.
Paaiškink, kad buvo 2 kalendorius.
Grigaliaus kalendorius, bažnytinė reforma 16 amžiaus pabaigoje, o iki to Julijaus, palei Julijų, nuo Julijaus Cezario. Kai ir graikų, ir rytų krikščionių bažnyčia, ir vakarų krikščionių bažnyčia gyvena tuo pačiu kalendorium. Tai tada duoda tuos pačius šventųjų vardus cerkvėm ir bažnyčiom. Pavyzdžiui, šventas Mikalojus, Svetoj Nikolai, šventas Mykolas, Svetoj Michail, Svetoj Ivan Jonas, šventas Jonas. Kad atlaidai būtų tą pačią dieną.
Kad nesipeštų.
Nesipeštų. Kad reiškia eitų bažnytiniai turgai ir tie žydai beigelių savo pardavinėtų tą pačią dieną. Tai čia ne mitas. Čia yra Vilniaus istorija.
Tai mes, ne veltui ir buvo kurtas ta legenda, mes tokia Šiaurės Roma kažkokia.
Gali būti. Šiaurės Roma ir jį mes turime, jeigu ne tie, kurie gviešėsi į mus ir pasidalino, ir vokiečiai, ir rusai, ir lenkai, ir baltarusiai, ir tie patys lietuviai, ne ką geresni buvo. Mes visi nori to Vilniaus, nes Vilnius yra kaip, nežinau, kaip medus. Jis traukia visus. Savo to įvairovę, savo įdomumu.
Nu tai va, tai ką, tai baigiant, tai jeigu taip trumpai pasakyti supozicionuoti Vilnių, tai jis yra nuostabus miestas, kuris traukia įvairiausias kultūras, įvairiausias skirtingus žmonės ir to džiaugiasi.
Kas myli Prahą, Vilnius yra maža Praha. O Praha yra Europos sostinė.
Tai mes
Ne kas nors kitas.
Šiaurės Europos
O
sostinė.
mes būsim
Nes, kaip pabaigsiu, sakė, Stokholmas, Helsinkis atsipalaiduoja. Jie net šakutės iš mūsų gavo.
Kardiogramos.
Per Vilnių šakutės.
Stokholmas gavo, taip ir yra, Gamlas šitame Upsaloj, kur yra Jogailaičių koplyčia, kur guli Kotryna, Švedijoje, yra ant virš Kotrynos galvos yra galingas miestas, o virš Jono III nedidukas Stokholmas, Gamlastanas. Tai visi švedai sako, kokią mes gavom gerą nuotaką
iš Vilniaus.
Šakutė atnešė.
Tai va. Tai sveiki atvykę į Vilnių, karalių ir tolerancijos miestą.
Ir laisvės.
Ir laisvės.
Karalių, tolerancijos ir
Teisingai.
laisvės.
Laisvė išrasta Vilniuje.
Taip.
Atsakinga. Ačiū. Nu tai viskas. Ar ne, liuks?
Ar įtikinom?
Achilles is your son, recognize it. Achilles is your son, recognize it. Achilles is an unwanted child. 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 Your melanin not drowning, but I can't find a downside. Sooner or later I'll be deep inside a void with you. Sooner or later I'll be deep inside your soul. Brown eyes got me stuck in them. Your brown eyes got me whispering, oh, are you gonna catch me? Even if I fall, or will you just watch me hit the floor with your
Mama said your earring and mean that someone about to visit. Sitting in this chair thinking you was coming finna hit me. But your love for me was shifty, 6 speed. Brush me my number like what the lick read, empty. And there ain't no nothing that you could give me, but 6 G's a good start. Pissy about the past, but I still got a pure heart. Missed calls from my dad, that shit hit me like darts. Cause I know when I call him back, he gon' pick me apart. Don't got no time for all of that at all. I hit a pass, she gon' splash me, my dick a cannonball. She need it bad, she an athlete, my shit her Tylenol. Can't be attached, I know sadly that she not mine at all. I'm not endorsing it, but I know players play, I advocate for sportsmanship. Time gon' fade away, so every day I know no forcing shit at all. Ever.
You got me mouthing for you, please take my hand. Cause if I fell today, would you stay near with me for tomorrow? Would you still care for me? Oh, oh. You got me drowning, falling just like quicksand.
Vilnius ads, and the person that stands behind them is Antonio Becle. He is from Peru. In Peru, he started his advertising career, then he moved to London. He met some Lithuanian friends there. Of course. And then he came to visit Vilnius, and he kind of never left.
Yep. I'm taking advantage of the hospitality of this place.
Yeah. So he's here already for like more than a decade, right?
14 years.
14 years.
For the 29th of September, 14 years.
Yeah. And
what day is today?
And I think every single...
Oh, today. Today, 14 years, yes.
Oh, it's anniversary.
Yeah, it's a 14-year anniversary.
Cool.
I'm a copywriter. I like to do this.
And I think that Antonio, every single day, he's becoming more and more Lithuanian.
Yes.
He would admit that.
Taller and whiter. Yes.
Right. So I just give you the microphone that you already have.
Yeah, for the choreography.
The stage is yours, and he also gonna present the brief, which I think you're really waiting for, right? So Antonio will tell everything about that. Please, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you. Thank you very much. So I will tell you a little bit about Vilnius, the status quo of Vilnius advertising now. I ended being the one doing Vilnius advertising for several reasons, but one of the main ones was because I am the foreigner who came here, liked the place, and moved here. So makes sense that I will do the advertising for them. That's one of the main reasons. But there's another reason, and you will see it now. So let's start with what Vilnius was doing. I was really trying to find out what Vilnius was doing before we started doing advertising, and I couldn't find absolutely anything. So I don't know what they were doing before we started. It's weird, but yeah, they may have been doing small things or something around, but nothing really, let's say, considerably noticeable. But everything started with a very funny story that a lot of you may know, but a lot of you may not know, so I will tell you anyways. It's something crazy, and this crazy story is a little story, so I will have to tell you. It started in 2017. It's a while ago. In 2017, I was already teaching here, torturing my nice students, as usual. And I gave them a task. I gave them a task to create an integrated campaign for Vilnius. So I gave them a week, and after a week, I have nothing good, so I gave it another week. And the insight was that nobody knows much about Vilnius, but when they come, they fall in love with it. And it's true, it happens to all of us. I have been here already for a while, as you know. And even the directors who come to film here, they want to stay here, and they come for holidays. So it becomes something like that. And you understand them, but also it's very difficult to say why, because you just feel it. You feel that it's a nice place, and you want to stay here. So, of course, there were some good ideas and some not so good. That's what a teacher has to see. But one team, after showing me their normal ideas that were kind of decent, were okay, they showed me an idea as a joke at the very end. They said, okay, this as a joke, we did this, and they showed me a print. And I told them, no, that's the best idea you have, so that's the idea that goes to the portfolio. That's the only good idea you have. So it went to their portfolio, and that's it. That was it. 2 years later, I was, and this is true, I was literally with a coconut in my hand in Bali on holidays, drinking my coconut, and I received a call. And it was a journalist, and it was January 2019. And the journalist told me, look, what can you tell us about this campaign? And they told me about the campaign, and I said, the only campaign I know like that was a campaign that 2 years ago my students did in my class. I mean, you should see your social media. And they can have. So I didn't see the social media at all. I was totally disconnected, so I went to check. And it seems that the print went viral. Somebody released it, it was January 25th is the anniversary of Vilnius, and you are doing something about that this time. So somebody said, happy birthday, Vilnius, and boom, put the print. So the print was this one. This is the exact print. This is the draft that they did. Nobody knows where it is, but when you find it, it's amazing. Vilnius, the G-spot of Europe. No? So it was everywhere. Even my brother-in-law in New York sent it to me saying, oh, look, somebody did something about that place you're living. And he had no idea that it was my students. So it was a brutal viral. And Go Vilnius, of course, Go Vilnius is an institution that is in charge of the development and marketing of Vilnius. They saw that because it was everywhere. 967 publications around the world were talking about the campaign. It was crazy. So they bought the campaign. They came here and they said, where are the students who had to buy the campaign? And then I said, wait a second, because it's just a print. We need to do an integrated campaign. So we fixed the campaign and everything and presented it to them. So this is the campaign produced already. It's the same. It's just better produced. And we also had, apart from the print was just one print in Berlin and another one in London. It was like nothing, one outdoor. They have a web page where you can build your personal pleasure map. So you will see this kind of questions, no? Like there is no such thing as too much tongue. So disagree or agree, and they will give you events or venues that or landmarks of Vilnius that match this. And if you like it or not, like Tinder, you can swipe left or right, no? And then you have your pleasure map with all the things that you matched. No? And then it was everywhere. When it was released, it even appeared with John Oliver. People were talking about it a lot. There was a big problem, not problem, for me it wasn't a problem. That the church was against it and the Pope was coming to Lithuania. So, the Pope is coming to the G-spot of Europe. It was a big, so that raised the PR like crazy. We were very lucky with this, so the PR went up like crazy. And yeah, it was a very famous campaign and very successful. It brought, it almost doubled the tourism in a year. So it was very, very successful. It won in the International Travel and Tourism Awards the best destination for a city in the world. So they were very happy, of course. The client was there, super proud, crying. And they liked it, of course. They liked it with the awards. They liked it. Obviously, they noticed that they can do something effective and interesting for Vilnius. So they said, why not to continue doing this? Because they weren't doing these things before. Now they thought we can do something very interesting. By the way, they were very brave to buy this campaign. I mean, imagine buying the campaign of the G-spot of Vilnius when you are the person in charge. It's a very brave decision. At some point, the person almost loses their job, but then the results were overwhelming, so it was all right. That's what happens when you take risks, no? But it went very well for everyone. But there was a problem. Later, some problems appeared with the campaign, some technicalities. That is, for example, that in some web pages, when you want to put your banner, they don't let you put anything that is sexual. So they couldn't put in a lot of travel pages their banners with the G-spot because the G-spot was a sexual thing, so they couldn't put it. I was trying to convince them that, look, who cares? I mean, you have one outdoor. You made a big mess, so why do you need the banners? No? But it says that for some reasons they need it or whatever. So they came with a very innocent and nice request in 2020, the next year. Can we have a new campaign but without the G-spot? So the same but without the thing that actually made it be super big, which I understand. It was, yeah, they had some problems with the other one. I understand those problems. So, okay, let's try. But it was, I told them, look, it won't be the same. It's impossible to do two virals one after the other in that scale, you see. So don't expect, I managed expectations because it was very tricky. So we decided to do another campaign. But before that, I told them, okay, but we have to agree in something. We have to be honest with each other and understand the sad truth of Vilnius. And the sad truth, for you not to make me oversell something, is that Vilnius has nothing that can beat their competitors. I mean, I can say, oh, look, the amazing castles of Vilnius. And yeah, right. You go to England, go to France, go to Germany, the amazing castles of Spain. I don't know, that the whole Eastern Europe has, and the lakes. So there's nothing that Vilnius has as a differential, let's say it. But there is something that we can sell. And this is the deal I made with them. We don't beat them with the product, we beat them with the brand. Because the product is, it's difficult to find a differential in the product that can beat everybody else, but the brand can. We can build a brand that is fun, is cool, is witty, is brave, as we already started with the G-Spot campaign. So let's go with it, because that's basically the only chance we have. And we have to be aggressive and strong, because we are the underdogs, so we have to bite. So they said, okay, of course, is the sad truth. They were actually sad, because for me it's not that sad because I'm from Peru, but telling that from people from here is sad. No? And I understand, but you have to understand that before doing a campaign. The key was to build Vilnius personality, to make Vilnius personality so attractive that you will come because of the personality. You can say, I went to Vilnius, and say, oh, that's cool. To see something, because whatever it is there, you saw it, but that doesn't matter. So we needed to be bold. We needed to be, how to explain it, to be brave enough to laugh at ourselves, to be brave enough to be very proud, to say Vilnius is absolutely amazing. I don't care what you think. We are amazing, and if you don't even know where we are, I don't care. Because we're amazing. We are great. We have to be funny, we have to be witty, so it's a challenge. It's a challenge that every advertiser wants, basically. So we started with this video. Volume. Are we ready? Yeah. Wait a second. Should I try again?
Wait, what, sorry?
Vilnius. Vilnius.
It's,
Vilnius.
Which one?
Vilnius. It's Austria.
Welcome to Vilnius, Austria, the undiscovered jewel of the Alps. Vilnius is characterized by having most of its landmarks just a few minutes away from each other by foot. This admirable city is in the heart of Austria.
Vilnius? In Italy?
In the heart of Italy, being its most well-kept secret. Its effervescent streets and colorful markets make it a perfect destination for any traveler. For obvious reasons, Vilnius is the pride of Italy. I mean, the pride of Finland. Vilnius's old town, considered one of the biggest in the region, is crowned by the majestic Gedimino Tower, where travelers like this young fellow, hello there, buddy, can have the same view that the old ruler of Finland, the old ruler of Venezuela.
Sweden?
I mean, Sweden.
Belgium.
Oh, okay.
Ethiopia.
Of Ethiopia?
Romania.
What if I told you that Vilnius is the capital of Lithuania?
Oh, would never know.
Yeah?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes!
Welcome to Vilnius, Lithuania.
So this introduced a new concept that Vilnius is amazing wherever you think it is. So we don't care. And this may be the only piece where we actually say that Vilnius is in Lithuania, because in any other ad that we did later, we just don't even say it because we don't care. So it's Vilnius. We released this together with some outdoors in London where we see the landmarks in fantastic worlds or crazy places, no? In extreme, no? Wherever you think it is, even if it's a fantasy world, no? For example, or underwater or in another planet, it doesn't matter. And in the web page, because everything takes you to the web page where it's vilnius.com, so everything is an integrated campaign, so we all put everything together in a web page. And in this page, we make you guess where Vilnius is in a blank map. And if you fail, you have a funny text there according to where you failed. So I had to write all those texts. It was a lot of work. And also after that, you can see several reasons why Vilnius is amazing. No? So that was integrated campaign. The problem is that the COVID-19 came a month after we released the campaign. So if the campaign came out on February, and on March, all the airports were closed, so we have no results or no anything. I mean, we just launched the campaign. The awareness was good. We won again the best campaign for a city in the world, and so it was a nice campaign. It didn't go as viral as a G-Spot, and we knew that was going to happen, but it was a nice campaign. But now we had COVID. It's 2020, COVID, everything closed. Most of the budget of the municipality goes for the COVID, COVID reasons. So budgets are low. You are not really doing too much, advertising. So for Christmas, we just needed to do a little print ad, and nobody could come because everything was closed. All the borders were closed. So we said, okay, let's have a little black humor here. And we released this, that is Christmas in Vilnius, amazing, whenever you'll be able to come. We have this futuristic Vilnius, like in 3000 and something. But it was just a little thing that we did there. And next year was very similar, because again, the budget was very low, and they repeated the campaign, because yeah, why not? No? But they decided to do something a bit bigger for Christmas. So we decided for Christmas to greet the rest of Europe with a Christmas carol that was inspired by all the wrong answers that we got when we asked where is Vilnius. So we did this.
It's Sweden, no, it's not Sweden. It's Belgium, no, it's not Belgium. It's Austria, no, it's not Austria. And it's not Germany. It's not Iceland. It's not Italy. It's not Indonesia. And for sure it's not Greece. It's England, no, it's not England. It's Poland, no, it's not Poland. It's India, no, it's not India. And it's not Vietnam, it's not Uruguay, it's not South Sudan, it's not Puerto Rico, and for sure it's not France. It's Chile, no, it's not Chile. It's Greenland, no, it's not Greenland. It's Latvia, no, it's not Latvia. Oh, maybe it's Mars.
See, we kept with the same web page, so we started going around that. We released this in video and also in audio, audio spots. So, it was recorded live in that church while we were filming, so it was very interesting. It was all done organically. But in that year, in 2021, at the same time, they were preparing for the 700 years anniversary of Vilnius. So we made a campaign for this. Very little budget, the COVID was here, a very little budget. So we decided to do a video. It was for locals, it was for Lithuanians. They said, okay, we want Lithuanians to come to Vilnius. So it's in Lithuanian, but it has subtitles. We did a video that talks about how Vilnius is old, because 700 years old, but it's also young. So we came up with this kind of obvious tagline that is Vilnius 700 years young. that is a contradiction. So we wanted to talk about this contradiction, how it's old but young at the same time, because it has a very young vibe. So we did this video with guerrilla style, very low budget, but we released it.
Seniausias iš senukų, bet eina miegoti paskutinis. Jo senamiestis pilnas jaunystės. Jis buvo kai pirmojo hipsterio tėvukas dar nebuvo gimęs. Nors senesnis už elektrą, internete jis aktyvesnis už tave. Net jo seni receptai kas kartą atgimsta naujai. Jam 20, jau 700 metų.
So, yes, 700 years young was the new slogan of the campaign, and this is all about the contradiction, about young and old at the same time. To release some prints, for some prints, I think you saw something around that we called 3 different artists, very young artists from Vilnius, and we told them, these are the landmarks, do whatever you want, but just communicate that Vilnius is old but young. No? So, one of the artists, did this nice Gediminas tower, full of tattoos. And Marius did this, that's a white bridge right here, but with the sneakers all around. No? And finally, Arthur, he has this interesting style, so he just adapted the TV tower to his style over there. So they did whatever they wanted. We wanted to show Vilnius through the young artists that they have. So we wanted to start a movement around here. The budget didn't let it go farther because we had a lot of other plans and other media to go, documentaries about the artists and all this kind of thing. But, well, we released this. So, this is the slogan, Vilnius 700 years young. You know what it's about. It's about Vilnius being an old city with a lot of big, interesting history behind. But at the same time, it has a very young vibe. You see, so as the video says, there are a lot of contradictions here. The old town is full of young people, no? So these kind of things. And that takes me to your brief. Because Go Vilnius proposed this brief, it seems that they want to do an action in Berlin. So they want to continue with the 700 years young concept. So your task will be to create a non-traditional outdoor piece or action, so ambient could be, in Berlin with the purpose of to attract the attention of the biggest amount of earned media possible. Can be a PR stunt or similar, in order to raise awareness of the concept of the 700th anniversary, Vilnius 700 years young. One thing that I recommend you, why it is like this, we are Lithuania. Compared to other countries, we don't have much money. So basically it's a very attractive action, but very cheap, that brings a lot of PR, okay? That's the challenge that all creatives in Lithuania have all the time. So it started becoming a bit Lithuanian now. Yeah, it's not that there's no money. There will be some money, of course, but think about it. Think that part of the success will be about managing the budget well and getting the biggest amount of PR with the smallest amount of budget possible. And the mandatories is, of course, the slogan has to be there somewhere, somehow, or said or written at the end, or whatever the action is. And you need to send people to the webpage, basically. So the main point here is to communicate the concept and send people to the webpage so that they see more information there about Vilnius, about the 700th anniversary. So the webpage is 700vilnius.lt. Right now, you should be receiving the proper brief because there's more information and other things in your emails right now. This is just the task and the simplified brief. So you will have the whole thing in your hands. And that's it. So go do something great, but cheap. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, super bold and super short, and one of the best briefings I read in the last years. Really cool. Focused. Now we have to change the program. There are buses downstairs. We go to Berlin now. No.
Okay.
No, but we do have some people living in Berlin in here. Hands up. 4 people living in Berlin. If you have decent questions about Berlin, ask these 4 people. Because if you have to do an action in Berlin, you have to be to Berlin, everybody? Yes? No? Maybe? Whatever. So that's the point.
Can I quick one recommendation?
Yes, of course.
Now that I hear you. It is good, of course, to do something particular that we have in particular in Berlin, but if it's something a bit more generic, it can be replicated somewhere else. So maybe they will want to replicate it. So it's okay if it's in something specific about Berlin. Just have in mind that if it's something more generic and can be replicated and it's still good, because it has to be good, then maybe it's better for them. No? Maybe they can replicate it in London or in other places. If there's money.
Now the briefing gets worse. Don't build a wall in Berlin. They don't like it there. They don't. Just to mention that from an Austrian. No, I think that's all for now. You will have your teams, your mentors. We will have some food now. You will be. You can ask. We can ask you for more. Do you have questions now? Yes.
I have no idea. Normally it's very difficult to say, but I don't think that even they know. You see, because they are planning to do this, but they still don't know. It's mostly next year, so they will see. But let's not make a big. A big super production.
But if you find, for example, a sponsor like a startup bank, they have more money to sponsor that.
Yeah, I mean, you find other ways to bring things together. We are happy.
There was.
Normally, we do everything in England as our first market, and then it bounces to Berlin. But this time, they think, why don't we do something in Berlin first, and then see what happens? You see, so it's just a secondary market.
Yep. This was the bulb question. But does it have to be a bulb? This was the bulb question.
What about the language used? In English. Normally we do everything in English, and I guess they will translate everything whenever you...
In Berlin, everybody's nowadays speaking English.
Yeah.
Or Turkish.
Even this carol was released in Berlin, also in Germany. Well, in English, it wasn't translated.
Yeah,
it's all right. But anyways, it's better to do it in English so that we understand it, no? And then it will be translated. So don't worry about.
But it's even cooler in Berlin to speak English than to speak German. Cool. More questions? Yes.
Have you done something like it before, or was it adaptations of the campaign?
No, all these campaigns were in both markets. All the things you saw. Everything was digital. We haven't done anything ambient before. So it will be the first time.
Another thing for you. Now you start, we have some food, then we start working in here. Tomorrow we will have a trip through Vilnius. So if you have some questions or would you want to take some pictures, tomorrow we will have a 2 hours 15 tour through Vilnius. So you will have the possibility to learn more about, to have sightseeing points, whatever, which you might not need, but tomorrow you will have more informations, like visual informations about Vilnius. Tomorrow we start at I think at 8 breakfast, and at 9 the tour, and then you will get Vilnius more known that you know now. So that's tomorrow. That's difficult, but maybe you start today and you have the questions. You say, maybe if you find something, and you can take pictures or whatever tomorrow with the tour. Yes, that's it. That was important.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any requirements for the outdoor in Germany?
Well, it's
forbidden, illegal.
I have no idea.
Yes, of course, but you can try things. And for example, there had been things you might not think that it's possible. For example, guys in Hamburg, they put a huge lady into the Alster, which is a lake in the middle of Hamburg. A huge lady. She was lying in the Alster, like in the bathroom, in the bath tube, which is huge. And you said no, it was forbidden, but it was possible then. So it's a question of how to convince people in Berlin as well. But they are more and more open, because if it's good for Vilnius and people talk about, it's good for Berlin as well. We can talk.
Yes. Or you can just bribe the people. It's all right. Yeah, sure. Yes, you know how. Yeah, like in South America, we do that all the time. Yeah. Any other question? Nope.
The question: who would go to jail if it's forbidden?
I'm okay. I mean,
okay.
They have free meals. I'm okay.
Cool. Yeah.
That's it.
Looking very forward to seeing your campaigns and ideas. Yes. And I will pop around have a look at the teams once in a while, and let's get started.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, thank you. So I think we are over with the streaming that we had, and right now some technical stuff. So we over. Thank you. Goodbye. It's for them, not for you.